Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about a habit that's quietly sabotaging your potential, and most people don't even realize they're doing it. Emotional dumping. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That constant cycle of offloading your problems, venting your frustrations, sharing every single inconvenience in your life with anyone who'll listen. It might feel like relief in the moment, but the truth, it's draining your power. Every time you do it, you're giving away control of your emotional state. You're feeding your own helplessness instead of reclaiming your strength. Here's the deal. Your brain is like a GPS. It listens to whatever you tell it the most. If you keep repeating your problems, how overwhelmed you are, how unfair life is, how stuck you feel, it doesn't just hear you, it believes you. And then it starts filtering your world through that lens. Your thoughts begin to loop, your emotions spiral, and before you know it, your identity becomes wrapped around your problem. Not your goals, not your potential, not your power, just your problems. Now let's be clear, I'm not saying you should bottle things up and pretend everything's fine. That's not healthy either. I'm saying you need to be intentional. Are you talking about your problems to process and solve them? Or are you just dumping them because it gives you a hit of sympathy? Because if it's the second one, it's time to get honest with yourself. That moment of validation might feel good for 5 minutes, but what happens after that? Nothing. You're still stuck. You've wasted energy telling a story instead of rewriting it. Emotional dumping is like playing the same sad song on repeat and expecting your life to suddenly start dancing to a different beat. It doesn't work that way. You're not moving forward. You're rehearsing your pain, and the more you rehearse it, the better you get at staying exactly where you are. That's not what you want. That's not why you're here. You are not meant to live in a cycle of constant complaining and venting. You are meant to grow, to rise, to lead yourself out of whatever darkness you're in. You know what real strength looks like? It's not in how loudly you talk about your problems. It's in how quietly you get to work on them. You don't have to post about your struggle every day. You don't have to call 5 friends and relive the worst parts of your day over and over. What you have to do is ask yourself, what's the next small action I can take to shift this? Because that's what pulls you out of emotional chaos. Not more talking, not more venting, but action. Every time you emotionally dump, you're reinforcing the belief that you can't handle your life unless someone else saves you, and that is a lie. You don't need saving. You need strategy. You need movement. You need to remember that the most powerful person in your life isn't your friend, your therapist, your mom. It's you. So if you want to feel better, start by thinking better. Stop rehashing every single problem and start building a new pattern. One that says, I acknowledge the problem and now I focus on the solution. That tiny shift in mindset will change your entire trajectory. Look, life is hard. We all have things we're dealing with. But the people who grow, the people who build lives they're proud of, are the ones who stop handing out their problems like candy and start treating their time and energy like gold. Because they know every time you talk about what's going wrong without working on what could go right, you're moving backwards. So here's your challenge. The next time you catch yourself spiraling into a rant or unloading your stress just to feel heard, pause. Ask yourself, is this helping me move forward? If the answer is no, redirect. Even a tiny step forward is more powerful than 1,000 words about what's not working. Own your story, but more importantly, own how it ends. And that starts with you taking your power back from emotional dumping and putting it where it belongs, in focused, courageous, solution-driven action. Most people walk around thinking their problems are unique, that the weight they're carrying is heavier than anyone else's. And while your pain is valid, while your stress is real, so is everyone else's. People have their own problems. That's the part no one likes to admit. You're out here expecting someone to really care, to really sit with your issues and feel what you're feeling, but they're too busy carrying their own baggage. That's not cold, it's just human nature. We live in a world where everyone is overwhelmed. Everyone has something on their plate: pressure from work, bills piling up, a relationship hanging by a thread, kids, parents, deadlines, regrets. And yet, we expect people to stop what they're doing, step out of their mess, and pour themselves into ours. When you start to understand this, you begin to realize why so many conversations feel shallow, why your rants often get short replies, or why people drift away when you consistently unload on them. It's not because they don't like you. It's because they're already trying to survive their own chaos. Here's what happens. The more you expect others to carry your emotional load, the more disappointed you feel when they don't. You feel ignored, misunderstood, even betrayed. But the problem isn't them, it's the expectation. When you walk into every connection with the unconscious hope that someone else will make your pain feel smaller, you're setting yourself up to feel abandoned. You're chasing comfort in the wrong place. Because let's face it, people can sympathize, but they can't fix it for you. They don't live in your mind. They don't feel what you feel. They're not going to drop everything just because your world is shaking. And even if someone does listen, even if they give you their time and attention, you have to understand this: nobody will ever care about your life as much as you do. They can support you, they can encourage you, but the responsibility to heal, to grow, to move, that's on you. It always has been. This realization isn't meant to isolate you, it's meant to wake you up. You need to stop putting your emotional well-being in other people's hands. You need to stop looking for someone to always understand, because they won't, and they don't have to. That's not their job. Your job is to understand yourself, to sit with your own pain, to process your own thoughts, to stand up even when it's hard, and decide that no matter how messy things are, you're the one who has to clean it up. When you stop expecting others to solve your problems or hold space for every breakdown, you free them, but more importantly, you free yourself. You stop being dependent. You stop waiting. You stop handing over your peace to people who never asked to be responsible for it in the first place. Let's be real. People want results, not repetition. They want to see you rise, not relive your struggle every single week. If all you do is talk about what's wrong,